It's late. You're hungry, tired, and broke. So you grab that trusty packet of instant noodles, your go-to 5-minute meal. Feels like a harmless, budget-friendly dinner, right? Think again. That tiny pack hides a salty secret, enough sodium to overload your daily limit, oils that have been reused beyond safety, and even traces of chemicals linked to major recalls. Today, we're breaking down 10 instant noodle brands you should avoid, and 2 safer options that won't harm your health. Stick around, the last one may surprise you. 10. Maruchan Instant Lunch. We've all done it. Peel back the lid, pour in hot water, wait 3 minutes, and there it is. Instant comfort in a cup. But here's the catch. That foam cup isn't as innocent as it looks. Each serving packs about 1,200 milligrams of sodium, roughly 80% of what your heart should handle in a day. And that styrofoam container? It can release microplastics and chemicals into your food when it meets boiling water. For older adults or anyone eating these multiple times a week, that's chronic chemical exposure and inflammation from reused industrial oils coating the noodles. Better choice, empty the noodles into a ceramic bowl, use only half the seasoning, and toss in some veggies or egg. Hydrate well, or skip Maruchan entirely for a cleaner brand. Ever feel unusually bloated after a cup noodle meal? Now you know why. 9. Nissin Cup Noodles. Nissin gave its classic cup a modern makeover. A paper sleeve, fresh graphics, sleek vibes. But don't be fooled, the packaging evolved, not the recipe. With 1,160 milligrams of sodium per cup, it's nearly identical to the old version. For anyone managing blood pressure or heart health, that's most of your daily sodium gone in a single serving. The noodles are still fried in the same type of industrial oil, and that flavor packet? It's built for addiction, salt, MSG, and fats that make your brain crave more. Pro tip? Cut the seasoning in half, add real vegetables or grilled protein, and always flip the cup to check that sodium number. Nice new label, same old story. Did the eco-looking paper cup make you think it was healthier too? 8. Nongshim Shin Ramyun. That bold red packet, the one that smells like spice, comfort, and nostalgia, has a darker side. Shin Ramyun, loved around the world, faced serious contamination issues recently. In 2023-2024, health authorities in Taiwan and other countries found ethylene oxide, a banned sterilizing chemical, in Shin Ramyun seasoning packets. This discovery led to major recalls across multiple markets, a sign of weak quality control in the supply chain. Add to that an average of 1,800 milligrams of sodium per pack, and you've got a meal that can push your heart and kidneys to the limit. If you're a Shin loyalist, treat it as an occasional indulgence, and always check the batch date or recall list before buying. Still eating Shin after the recalls? You might want to rethink that. 7. Samyang Buldak Fire Noodles. This is the one that took over the internet. The black packet, the cartoon chicken, the "I survived it" videos. Samyang's Buldak noodles didn't just become food, they became a viral challenge. But in 2024, that challenge got serious attention from regulators in Europe. In June 2024, Denmark's food authority recalled several Buldak variants after tests showed capsaicin levels high enough to cause acute poisoning in sensitive people. This wasn't internet drama, it was a public health issue backed by hospital cases and government reports. The recall targeted the extreme spicy versions, the same ones fueling social media dares. Kids and older adults are especially vulnerable, since high doses of capsaicin can trigger nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, spikes in heart rate, and even circulatory distress. And that's not the only problem. Most Buldak flavors, like original hot chicken and carbonara, contain around 1,200 to 1,300 milligrams of sodium per pack, nearly your entire daily limit in one meal. Combine that salt load with fiery spice, and you're giving your body a serious shock. Capsaicin triggers a rush of adrenaline and endorphins that feels exciting until the stomach cramps and heart palpitations hit. That thrill is exactly what makes these noodles addictive and risky at the same time. Bottom line, if you love the challenge, make it a once-in-a-blue-moon stunt, not a habit. For seniors, skip Buldak entirely. And if you ever see a recall notice, take it seriously. It's not hype, it's your health. Be honest, have you ever tried the Fire Noodle Challenge? Did it end with a victory dance, or a dash to the fridge, or worse, the ER? Samyang turned pain into a viral brand. Great for content, not for dinner. 6. Gin Ramen. Now for the quiet one, gin ramen. It's the kind that smells gentle, tastes mild, and feels comforting enough for anyone who avoids spice. But don't let that calm flavor fool you. Behind its mildness hides a shocking fact. Gin ramen has the highest sodium content on this entire list. Each pack contains 1,800 to 1,980 milligrams of sodium, more than most spicy noodles, more than the foam cup versions, and nearly your full day's allowance in one sitting. Here's the trap. Because it's mild and doesn't burn, people eat it often, 3 or 4 times a week, thinking it's the safe choice. But that quiet sodium overload adds up silently, increasing risks for high blood pressure, bloating, and heart strain over time. The spicy ones at least warn you with heat. Gin's gentle flavor lulls you into eating more, and that's what makes it sneakily worse. If you must have it, skip the seasoning packet, rinse the noodles after boiling, and mix in fresh vegetables, boiled egg, or lean meat to make it an actual meal. Better yet, try one of the cleaner options coming up next. Which mild ramen tricked you into thinking it was harmless? 5. Indomie mee goreng. For millions, Indomie mee goreng isn't just food, it's nostalgia. That familiar black or red packet, the sweet soy aroma, the crunchy shallots, a taste of home that traveled across continents. But behind that comforting flavor are 2 major health red flags: chemical residues and reused oil. In 2023, several countries flagged Indomie for traces of ethylene oxide, ETO, a sterilizing chemical banned or restricted in many regions due to cancer concerns with long-term exposure. Taiwan recalled its special chicken flavor, and Malaysia launched investigations after finding ETO in seasoning packs. Even though the company and regulators moved fast with recalls and inspections, it exposed a serious issue: how one contaminated ingredient can affect millions of packets worldwide. Then comes the oil problem. Like many fried-style noodles, Indomie is cooked in industrial palm oil, oil that's often reheated multiple times during production. Each reheat increases oxidation and peroxide levels, degrading both taste and quality. Independent lab tests in Hong Kong and Taiwan have found oxidized oil traces in certain batches, raising concerns about long-term cardiovascular effects. And yes, sodium is part of the story too. A single mee goreng pack can deliver 800 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium before you even add your favorite toppings. Combine that with oxidized oils, and you've got a meal that stresses both your heart and blood vessels. The truth is, comfort food made at scale comes with trade-offs. Mass production means any slip in ingredient quality, from sterilization to oil turnover, impacts millions of loyal eaters. For many, Indomie is tied to childhood memories and family traditions. That makes it hard to criticize. But nostalgia doesn't make it harmless. If you're a fan, use only part of the seasoning oil. Add real vegetables and protein, and switch up your brands every now and then. If a recall is announced, don't assume your pack is safe just because it's familiar. Who else still keeps a pack for comfort? Be honest. How often do you give in? Indomie is love, but love needs limits. 4. Mama Shrimp Tom Yum. For countless noodle lovers, Mama Tom Yum is instant comfort, that lemony, shrimpy aroma that hits the moment you open the packet. It smells like street food, travel, and home all at once. But here's the twist. That irresistible scent isn't from real shrimp or lemongrass. It's chemistry. Most of that fragrance comes from synthetic ester compounds, lab-made aromas created to mimic the freshness of real Thai herbs and seafood. They're designed to evaporate fast, giving that powerful first whiff that fades almost instantly once hot water hits the cup. The shrimp? Powdered extract. The lemongrass? Artificial essence. The creaminess? Palm oil-based substitutes mixed with powdered dairy. In short, what feels like authentic Thai comfort is actually sensory engineering, a scientific trick to make you crave another packet. The result? A first spoonful that feels magical, and a second that tastes flat and overly salty. It's flavor illusion, not tradition. If you crave real Tom Yum flavor, skip the shortcuts. Use a bit of lemongrass paste, lime juice, chili, and real shrimp or tofu. Keep just a pinch of the seasoning mix for nostalgia, not the whole packet. Ever noticed how the smell never quite matches the taste? That's not your imagination, that's marketing science. 3. Ace Cook. How? Let's talk about why this fan-favorite instant noodle brand might not be the best pick, especially for older adults or anyone watching their heart, blood pressure, or kidney health. You open the shiny foil pack, drop the noodles in boiling water, and 5 minutes later, there's a steaming, fragrant bowl that looks comforting and tastes familiar. It's cheap, satisfying, and hits the flavor sweet spot. But that convenience comes with 3 hidden problems: sky-high sodium, oxidized oils, and chemical alerts in the supply chain. 1. The sodium overload. Nutrition data from several sources show how noodles packing between 1,100 and 1,900 milligrams of sodium per packet, depending on the flavor. That means a single serving can meet or exceed the entire daily sodium limit for someone aiming for 1,500 milligrams per day. Even the mild or vegetarian flavors often hover around 1,500 to 1,800 milligrams, so less spicy doesn't mean healthier. For older adults taking blood pressure or kidney medications like ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or diuretics, that's a serious issue. Extra sodium makes the body retain fluid, raising blood pressure and swelling. Over time, it throws off medication control and pushes lab results in the wrong direction. Doctors know this well. Cutting about 1,000 milligrams of sodium a day can meaningfully lower systolic blood pressure. So avoiding high-sodium noodles isn't just a diet tip, it's a measurable health move. 2. The oil problem. Like many instant noodles, How-Hows are pre-fried in industrial palm oil for texture and shelf life. Large-scale production means that oil is often reheated repeatedly, which increases oxidation and produces compounds that alter both flavor and nutritional quality. These oxidized fats don't cause instant harm, but they do promote inflammation and oxidative stress, especially in aging arteries. Over time, that contributes to the gradual wear and tear on blood vessels, the kind of slow damage that shows up in long-term heart and vascular health. 3. The chemical red flag. In recent years, Ace Cook and a few other regional brands have faced recalls and safety checks over traces of ethylene oxide, ETO, found in seasoning or spice ingredients. Several food regulators in Europe and Asia flagged specific batches, including some from Ace Cook Vietnam, for these residues. ETO is used as a sterilizing agent but is banned or restricted in food because of potential long-term health risks. Even small detections trigger recalls because they reveal supply chain lapses that can affect millions of packets before the issue is caught. Why it matters. For someone older or managing chronic health conditions, How delivers a triple hit. A full day's salt in one meal.
oxidized oils that strain blood vessels, and seasoning contamination risks that raise safety questions.
None of these issues alone would make headlines, but together they create a pattern that's risky for vulnerable consumers. If you're shopping for an older family member or eating instant noodles regularly, it's worth skipping this brand. Choose one with lower sodium, air-dried noodles, and transparent ingredient testing. Cheap and tasty shouldn't mean costly for your health. 2. Autogi Jin Ramen. You toss the packet into boiling water, and the familiar steam rises. Comforting, mild, and easy on the taste buds. Jin Ramen, known simply as Jin in many markets, feels like the calm cousin of fiery noodles. Gentle, smooth, and friendly to most palates. But mild taste doesn't mean mild nutrition. A single pack of Jin Ramen can contain around 1,800 to 1,980 milligrams of sodium, depending on flavor and portion size. That's nearly an entire day's limit for anyone watching their salt intake. For people advised to stay under 1,500 milligrams per day, one serving already overshoots the goal. There's more beneath the surface. Jin's noodles are flash-fried in palm oil to stay crispy and shelf-stable. During large-scale production, frying oil is often reused, and as it ages, oxidative compounds build up. Those compounds can dull flavor, giving a slightly stale or metallic aftertaste, and, over time, contribute to inflammation when eaten frequently. For older adults managing heart health or medications, this gentle bowl may quietly add unnecessary strain. Mild in flavor, but heavy in sodium and oxidized fats, Jin Ramen can be a hidden challenge for those with sensitive systems. Texture can also be a concern. Lower-cost noodle strands are often brittle or oily, making them tougher to chew or swallow. For seniors with delicate swallowing reflexes, that can increase the risk of coughing or even choking, something caregivers should pay attention to. Smarter way to enjoy it? Boil Jin Ramen in plain water and use only half or none of the flavor packet. Mix in steamed vegetables, eggs, or lean protein for balance. Avoid finishing the broth and drink extra water afterward to help dilute sodium. For caregivers, think of Jin as an occasional comfort, not an everyday staple. Even 2 packs a week can push sodium levels into the danger zone. Ever felt unusually thirsty or bloated after a mild ramen bowl? Jin might be the reason. It sells calm on the label, but the numbers tell a different story. If quick noodles are a must, treat Jin as a base ingredient, not a complete meal. 1. Maggi. Maggi noodles are iconic, a kitchen classic in many homes, especially across Asia. So when a trusted name like that faces a safety scare, it hits hard. In 2015, India saw one of its biggest food controversies when tests revealed excess lead levels in some Maggi samples. The result was dramatic: bans, recalls, court battles, and millions of packets destroyed. Even though the brand later returned to shelves, that episode left a lasting mark on consumer trust. For seniors, Maggi lands at the top of our avoid list for 2 reasons. First, once a product has experienced large-scale contamination, rebuilding confidence takes time. Transparency and independent testing are essential before full trust can return. Second, Maggi's flavor base is still loaded with sodium and processed fats, a poor mix for anyone with heart or kidney issues. That combination, a safety scandal plus heavy sodium, makes it one of the riskiest picks for older adults who rely on instant meals. Simple takeaway: if you're caring for someone on a low-sodium or cardiac plan, skip Maggi as a daily go-to. If you must buy it, check manufacturing details, recall records, and use only part of the seasoning. Add fresh, low-salt ingredients to make it safer. Remember, nostalgia isn't a health plan. Familiar doesn't always mean safe. When a brand you loved once had a safety issue, did you stop buying it or give it a second chance? Share that story. because Maggie's journey is a reminder sometimes the biggest names can deliver the biggest disappointments. For seniors, stick to brands that show clear testing data and offer low-sodium alternatives. Now, let's talk about two brands that actually play it safe. Safe pick #1, Lotus Foods Rice Ramen, Paulo Clean Bowl. Finally, a noodle brand that gets it right. Lotus Foods keeps things simple. Air-dried noodles, clean ingredients, and light seasoning. No greasy fry oil, no chemical extras, just a gentle, nourishing bowl that's perfect for seniors or anyone watching their sodium. By air drying instead of deep frying, these noodles skip the oxidized oils that often sneak into regular instant ramen. Fewer calories, fewer additives, and much less sodium. Exactly the kind of math your body appreciates. The Paulo Clean Bowl variety fits the same idea. Clean, minimal, and balanced. It's the kind of instant comfort food that doesn't fight your health goals. Smart tip. If a package doesn't list sodium clearly on the front, flip it over. Look for less than 600 milligrams per serving, ideally somewhere between 200 to 350 milligrams if you're shopping for someone on a low-sodium diet. Safe pick #2, Nissin Rao. Think of Nissin Rao as instant ramen's glow-up, a refined version built to feel like restaurant-style noodles. The company skips the deep fryer and instead uses steam-dried noodles paired with rich, liquid broths or high-quality stock bases. That one change makes a big difference. No oxidized oil. A smoother, more authentic texture. Moderate sodium that's easier to manage. Because the noodles themselves aren't soaked in fried oil or salt-heavy powders, Rao gives you the real ramen feel without the long-term damage. How to make it even healthier? Choose in water or low-salt variants when you can. Add your own fresh veggies and lean protein. Use only part of the seasoning packet. Rotate brands occasionally so you're not overloading on the same flavor or sodium source. For older adults, keeping instant noodles to 1 or 2 meals a week is a smart boundary. Remember, treat every pack like an ingredient, not a full meal. The bigger picture. And there you have it, 10 brands to skip and 2 that actually care about your health. We're not saying instant noodles are evil, just that most of them cut corners you'll never see. From reused fry oil to sodium levels that blow past your daily limit, even small shortcuts can quietly harm your heart, kidneys, and blood pressure. But here's the good news. Small tweaks add up. Choose air-dried over fried. Use half the seasoning packet. Add real vegetables, eggs, or tofu. Do that, and your next health checkup might surprise you in a good way. If this opened your eyes, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We're breaking down more everyday food traps next, from frozen dinners to canned soups. Now tell us in the comments, which instant noodle brand are you finally giving up? And which one shocked you the most? Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, eat smart, and rise above the hype.